Lightning Wolf, back with another hopefully banger video. And the reason why I'm making this video is because we got a comment from this guy named Alt Subscriber on our Survivor ranking video saying that you should do another Pokemon ranking challenge. Not challenge, another Pokemon ranking tier list video. And whenever you guys comment, I have to make a video. So if you want to see a video, you just got to drop a comment on one of these videos, and I will be turning comments on for this video. So if you want to see a video, put down your idea, and I'll try to do it. And we also hit 12 subscribers, and I will be making a special soon. But this video, we are going to be ranking every single set of Scarlet and Violet in Pokemon, including the Scarlet and Violet base set. Alright, so let's get right into it. Today, we only have 3 tiers because there's not that many sets. So, our tiers are best, mid, and bad. And this is obviously going to be controversial. We all have our different opinions. But this is just going to be based on pull rates, how cool the cards look, amount of cards, and price, whether or not you should try to collect it. Okay, so first up is Scarlet and Violet base set. And when this came out, people were hating on this. Because Sword and Shield, which was the era that came right before this, people absolutely loved that era. So there was a lot of expectations, and it didn't meet. But I'm not 100% sure why. Because if we search up Scarlet and Violet base set right here, I want to show you guys a couple banger cards that it has. I obviously can't type, but I misspelled set. What am I doing? I cannot type at all. Alright, but if we go to images, there is just one that I want to show you. Ralts Evolution Form. Okay, so let's pull up a good thing, right? Oh no, I'm not trying to buy. Okay, actually we can click on it. Okay, look how beautiful this is. It starts off as Ralts, just a little baby ballerina thing, helping out the couple that just moved into the house. And then we have Curlia evolving and caring for their new baby. And then we have, obviously, the last evolution, Gardevoir EX, on this beautiful artwork, helping them as they grow older. This is just so beautiful, and I will not be buying this, but I think that's just an example of some of the best ones. But I also can see why people were hating on this set, because it also had a few terrible cards. Like the illustration rares were not the best, I would say. If we go to some of these images, this Wiglet, okay, that's blurry. Okay, there we go. This Wiglet I think is great, and we actually have Psyduck in there, and whatever this guy is. And then we also have this guy, I forget his name, but a lot of Easter eggs in this Wiglet. But this is an example of one of the terrible cards in my opinion. This Tarantula, it's Gen 9, so it's completely new to everybody, and it just looks kind of bad. It's like this spider hanging off a string. But on the flip side of things, if you search up Scarlet and Violet base set, Spidops, and Tarantula, and Taro? No. I clearly cannot type. And Tarantula. Put these next to each other. What is this? Okay, let's click on this. My mouse is not working. It won't let me click. Huh? Guys, we're struggling through this together. God, I'm confused right now. What if I click restart? Okay, I don't understand this. Alright, well anyway, you see what I'm circling with my mouse? You see how you might not be able to see, but if you look close, even though that's Japanese, you see how they connect together. And it's the spider catching the tarantula. I think that's pretty cool. I think this was the first set to do that. So, Scarlet and Violet base set, I think people have definitely come around to it. But I think I would place it in the mid tier, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Alright, the next set. The first set of Scarlet and Violet. Well, the first, besides base set. Paldea Evolved. This set was huge. It had so many rare cards. So if we just look up Scarlet and Violet. Paldea Evolved. And we should look at some of these images. It's actually pretty expensive. $160 for a booster box. $20 for... Okay, I did not know that. Alright, but if we go to some of these, the cards are pretty cool. SIR and IR, which stands for Special Illustration Rare and Illustration Rare. But if we click on some of these, back on eBay again. Okay, these are Japanese. Why would I want Japanese? I want English. Why is everything Japanese? Okay, I'm confused right now. Okay, we gotta search up English. All these are just still Japanese. Wait, is this one Japanese? I can't tell. Oh my goodness, it is. And that card's from Scarlet and Violet base set. Wait, what? All those were... Okay, well, if I can actually get a picture of these cards, kind of nice. Click on this. Okay, those aren't illustration rares. Those are just the double rares. But there's a few cool cards in there. Like, this is just an example of Fuecoco, which was, I believe that's a Gen 9 starter. And look how cool this thing is. It's like shopping in this aisle. And these cards are so intricate in this set. I would say the storylines are not as good, but I think it's just a very nice set, in my opinion. It is a little too big, a little too expensive compared to a Scarlet and Violet base. And that is my channel I accidentally clicked on. So I think I would put it ahead of Scarlet and Violet base in mid tier. Obsidian Flames, this set, I'm going to be honest, was not a great set. Let's research it right now. But from what I remember, I didn't really like it. Let's just click on this article. So yeah, the thing about this set was that it started to do this thing where, you see how in this Charizard card, the body of Charizard is like crystally and stuff? Well, that was what Pokemon started to do in this set. And I don't really like it. I think it looks bad. I think they should have just stuck with the old. Because, in my opinion, this Reverum looks better than that Tyranitar. That's just me. But let's look at... These are not... Okay, this is a bad website. Pictures of cards. Visual set list. This should work. Okay. So these cards, these are just like the normal commons and rares and uncommons. But the Tyranitar does not look as good as the Palmon. I do love the two legendary Pokemon. I forgot to mention this about Scarlet and Violet base, but Miraidon and Koraidon are just great, in my opinion. But let's skip to the illustration. Okay, so in my opinion, this Gloom is great. This Ninetales a little underwhelming. Same for this Palafin. Bellabolt, terrible. Cleffa, that is beautiful, but kind of too bland. I don't love that Larvitar. Houndour, I think that's a good card, but not Desire. Pidgey, that is cool. Leaconk, I actually have that card, and I guess it's okay, but I don't really like it. Okay, but next we have, let's try to roll that up over there. Alright, next we have Pidgeotto, which is just the evolution to Pidgey. I don't like it at all. But this is what I'm talking about. You see the crystals on these cards? It just does not look as good. I think these full arts in this set were terrible. Full art supporters, another card that I have. I have Poppy, by the way. I just traded for it. But these cards are not great, in my opinion, except for this Ortega. But special illustration rares. Look, there's only 6 SIRs. And in my opinion, this Pidgeot right here looks identical to this. Oh, wait, never mind. We have a full line. Pidgeotto. Pidgeot. Oh, wait, that's actually pretty cool. But this Pidgeot, kind of bland. Obviously, I hate this Charizard right here. Terrible. This Esky, that has to be the worst SIR I've ever seen in my life. The Reverum is alright, nothing special. Then, funny story, this card is like $2, and for an SIR, that's crazy. But these two trainer SIRs are both pretty bad. I would say the saving grace is this Artisan. I think that is a nice card. Got the windmill here, and then the stairs. But Scarlet and Violet Obsidian Flames was a bad set. I would put it in bad tier just because those cards were not cool. That's all we're talking about. And it is cheap. So if you want a cheap set to try and collect, go with Obsidian Flames. It's very cheap. I do not like it. It's too small for me, and the cards just aren't good. Taking a completely different direction, we have 151. We can already put this in best tiers, not even contention. And the reason why is because we were getting all these brand new Pokemon, and we just wanted to feel comfortable again. And 151 is exactly that. It gives all the original 151 Gen 1 Pokemon a set to themselves. It's just great. So let's look at the cards. 151 cards. And let's go here. All right, look at this. This is just so refreshing. It's all cards that we came to know and love, and this is another bad website. All cards. We're going through this together. We will get editing. I'll get editing if we hit 200 subscribers. Yeah, that's it. All right, let's go back on the website that we were on. But look at these. Even the commons are cool. We got rid of that sparkly gem thing. And look at this Wartortle and Squirtle right here. These are too beautiful. They're playing in the sunset. And especially this Wartortle. I can't pronounce. Wartortle. Let's try to get rid of this again. These two. I don't know why that's there. But I just love the fact that we have a set of all the original Pokemon. Wigglytuff. I love Wigglytuff. This Slowpoke artwork is great in my opinion. But yeah, I like the artworks for even the non-illustration rares in my opinion. But if we get down to the illustration rares, look at these. I will admit this Bulbasaur and this Ivysaur are pretty bad, but this is a beautiful Charmander, and it's again telling a story as the Charmeleon gets high up on the cliff and the Charmander starts off down below. And then when you get to the SIRs, the hit card is flying above and soaring through. But we have Squirtle playing on the beach, Wartortle swimming in the ocean, and then Blastoise becoming an underwater scuba diver. And then the Bulbasaur Ivysaur line is definitely the worst because it starts with him playing in grass at the pond, and then just in colorful grass. So that one's not great, but this Caterpie is also kind of bad. And, okay, but this Pikachu is incredible. This is probably one of my favorite artworks from the Scarlet and Violet era. We have Pikachu right here. We have the two people. And then we have Growlithe, one of my favorite Pokemon. I think that's Clefairy, and that's Gengar right there. Look at this whole festival behind them. That is just a great artwork. But Nidoking right there, not the best card, but this Psyduck is a work of art. We have the small Psyduck, and then these like two long things of berry forest. It's beautiful. Poliwhirl right here, another great card. I love that card. I think it's nice and colorful. Okay, we're on to another gem. Machoke. I actually think we need to click on this. Okay, I will admit, the artwork is kind of weird. Like, what is this character design right here? And we have a Meowth, but we have a bunch of Machokes building and fixing a house. And look at all the detail. We have the birds in there. I just think this is such a great card. Another one of my favorite artworks. And then we have another gem right here, Tangela. This is beautiful. We have two Tangelas. One of them is hanging on a tree and swinging. The other one is sitting in the grass watching. And they're just in this nice forest. And this just brings back the memories of old Pokemon, where you could just lie down in the grass trading. Those were the days. Now we do have a Rotten Apple in the bunch. Mr. Mime, that's a terrible card in my opinion. And Oment is also not the best. That Dragonair is all right, but I wouldn't say it's great. But the full arts just bring back the full art nostalgia. These are such great cards. I think every single one of them is done perfect. Maybe it's just because they're the original Pokemon. But we got Alakazam in there, Mew. The full art supporters. These are all right. I sort of like the Bill's Transfer. Giovanni's Charisma is all right. But these two are just not great. And obviously I don't like the Venusaur, if you don't know. But Charizard EX, the #1 card in the set for price. I believe it's like $450 right now, which is kind of insane. I did not mean to click on that. But, which is kind of insane. And then we have the Blastoise, a part of one of the best storylines of the set. That's a pretty cool card, not the best. But then we have this Alakazam, another gem. In his house, fixing up all these slimy cocktail thingies. And I think that is just a great card. And then we have Zapdos, featuring the Articuno, Moltres, and Legendary Zapdos. So the 3 legendary birds in one artwork. Pretty clever. And then Erica's Invitation, also great. Giovanni's Charisma, that is just such a beautiful card. Meowth, hanging out. The gold cards are not great. I do like the gold switch, but yeah. Okay, so that is 151, which we already put in best. And now Paradox Rift. This set is not my favorite set, but we will spend a little bit of time looking at it, I guess. Okay, so Scarlet and Violet, Paradox Rift card list. Alright, let's go on to Paradox Rift. This introduced something new, whereas ancient and future cards. In my opinion, it didn't do much. Like future Iron Moth for Volcarona. Like, can we stop it with this? I need to close these every single time. Okay, but Iron Moth is a good, I just don't like future and ancient. I don't think we have any real great artworks in here. But yeah, you have the future Iron Bundle. And then there are ancients, like Iron Hands. Everything is iron, but Scream Tail is ancient. That's pretty good for Jigglypuff. But I just don't like it. Everything is irony, and this set also brought back the diamond gems, which obviously I hate. But let's get into the IRs. And I think this is all just a bunch of duds. The Magby is okay, but I don't like the Iron Moth. I don't like the Snorunt. I will say, the best card in this set is this Vanillish. This is beautiful. It's making ice cream for the little kids. Look at how many flavors there are. We have like an Easter egg one right here. And Vanillish right there, and Vanillish right there. This is just beautiful, in my opinion. Then we have the Veluza, which is alright. But Minim and Plusle, again, a storyline where they're fighting against each other. I don't even know what they're doing there. But the Blitzel's bad, Joltik is bad, Espithera's bad, Gimagol's bad, Groudon's okay, Minshow's bad. Minor, that's a pretty cool card, only because it's colorful, but these two are just terrible. This is another pretty good card in this set, Garbodor. I just like how it's on this absolute mountain of trash. And this is pretty cool, in my opinion. But Yavadol's bad. More Pekka. I think they just tried to do a little much. I don't love all the candy. But Brute Bonner, terrible. Steelix, this is a good card. I like how it's stretching up to these guys and they're working on a construction set thing. But that's pretty good. This set was also really big as it had a bunch of IRs and SRs. But Ferrothorn bad, Igleesh bad, Apom bad, Loudred bad, Swablu. This is a good card, I would say. You have Swablu chilling with a bunch of ducks here. And then, I like that card too. But then, Porygon Z, terrible. Cyclus, Iron Douglas, all bad. I just don't like Ancient and Future. And the full art is infested by crystals. It's not as magical as the 151 full arts. These full art supporters are not... They're actually pretty good. Larry, Parasol Lady, and Tulip are all gems in the bunch. But the SIRs were all complete misses, in my opinion. I think the full art supporters were better than the special illustration rare supporters, in my opinion. It has 6 gold cards. This is just how big this set is. And there is a good gold card in here, Beach Court. I like how everything's outlined. I like that card. But I think Paradox Rift, I think it has... this is tough. I'm deciding between the worst in mid tier or the best in bad tier. I think I just gotta go with the best in bad tier just because I hate the Ancient Future. Okay, Paldean Face up next. This one was good, but Scarlet and Violet. Paldean Face card list. Let's go back to our website here and let's take a look. We're gonna close off these as we always do, but I'm not 100% sure what they were going for here. It was a shiny set. I believe this was the shiny set. Wait, was this the shiny set? Wow, what did I just do? Oh yeah, this was the shiny set. We had an insane amount of shinies. Look how many there are. And some of these are expensive. But I think I do like this set just because it brings back this Shining Face nostalgia. But these are irrefusable. The Mew, Alakazam, and Gardevoir are all good cards in this terrible bunch. But at least it doesn't have that many diamonds, gems. But there's only 3 illustration rares, which kind of bugs me. And I would say none of them are great. The full art supporters are also pretty bad. And then obviously Charizard and Gardevoir both terrible. But the Bubble Mew, probably one of the cutest Mews we've ever gotten. And this card is freaking expensive. For no reason. I don't understand why this card is so expensive. But the special illustration rare supporters, this, all the other ones are kind of bad. But Clive, this is a beautiful card. So much detail. We got Leconk right there, Sylveon, I believe that's Oddish, and a bunch of other Pokemon that I can't even name. Fletchlander right there, Psyduck. All these trainers. It looks like a mini festival going on. I just love this card. One of the best cards. These, I don't even know what these are. All terrible. And then, yeah. But Paladin Fates, they were trying to bring back the Shining Fates, but it didn't hit at all. I would put it in the middle of bad tier. It's still better than Obsidian Flames though. Alright, Temporal Forces, the sequel to Paradox Rift, which means it brought the ancient and future back into the mix, which I do not like. The Scarlet and Violet. Temporal Forces card list. Alright. Let's get on here. Now this was better than the original Paradox Rift. But I still don't think it was great. It did bring back Future. And this Iron Leaves is not that bad. But let's just skip and go straight to the IRs. One thing that this set brought back was, I forget what these things are called, but they're like super item trainer cards. And I don't think we really needed them. This was mostly for battling purposes. I don't even know if anyone still battles. I think they definitely do. But I don't like these in my opinion. And then the illustration rares, we have actually a decent amount of these. But this featured, look how beautiful these Deerling and Saucebug are side to side. Those are just two of, that is incredible. It brought back a storyline. I just love that. Litten, that's decent, but Snog is terrible. Cherubug's terrible. Bronzor, Renclus, Cutiefly, Reglinth, Excadrill. I honestly, everything is terrible except for, well, we do have a little storyline, Minicho and Sinicho, but everything is terrible except for Deerling, Saucebug, and Chateau. We have an Easter egg here where these lines is like a music thing. And that's the music symbol. That's the music symbol. And that it's actually called a cappella. So I think that was pretty nice of them. Pretty clever of Pokemon, but these are not good. The only two that I like here for the full arts are Incineroar and Gengar. But they did bring back gems. Well, there weren't too many gems, but the full arts are all bad. And these have to be the worst special illustration rares of all time. Now, granted, there is a gem. And that gem is this Salvatore, because look how detailed this artwork is. We have two Pokemon. I think this is Clefairy. I'm not sure what that one is. But I think we have another Pokemon with this chocolate bunny. And this just has so many things. It could be talked about for minutes. But in the interest of time, we're going to skip past it. But that is definitely a good card. Okay. So Temporal Forces, I still think it was a bad set. Definitely better than Paradox Rift, though. So we're going to put ahead. Alright, Twilight Masquerade. This came out around the middle, I would say, of Scarlet and Violet. And it wasn't terrible, but Scarlet and Violet Twilight Masquerade card list. Alright, here we go. We're gonna go check out. My friend is trying to complete this set. He's pretty close. He's just missing a lot of the illustration and special illustration rares. But, which we're gonna go to those right now. And this obviously has the power up pink cards again. And there's a decent amount of irons in this set. Not too big though. I think this Diplin is pretty good. Nice and intricate. But I don't like that Infernape. I don't really like any of these except for the Diplin. These are, okay, the Diplin and then the Chansey, these two Chansey and Eevee cards back to back. Those are both great. Chansey's dropping some books. The Eevees are just huddled up on a chair. Look at how many gem cards are in this. Every single one of these are bad. We have an Ancient Future right in there. All of these full art supporters are bad. And the special illustration rares, again, some of the worst we've ever seen, in my opinion. The special illustration rare supporters, I kind of like the Lana's Aid, but it's nothing special. These gold cards, there's 5 of them, and they're all bad. I do not like this set. I think this is a terrible set. So Twilight Masquerade, unfortunately, is going to have to be another one in the bad tier. But Paladin Face was better than it. 100%. Okay. Our bad tier is a little too big right now. But Shrouded Fable hopefully can lift it back up. I don't know though. So Scarlet and Violet Shrouded Fable card list. Okay, let's take a look at these. I'm not 100% sure what the gimmick was for this, but this is a small set. Holy! This might be one of the smallest sets I've ever seen. Okay, keeping that in mind, I have this Pecharunt right here. And this set is actually kind of expensive for some reason. Literally every single one of these illustrations are bad except for this Persian. Just looking out into the city of Giovanni's mansion and seeing his reflection. That's a pretty cool card. But these full arts, I don't even know any of those Pokemon. And then the SR is all dark, terrible. I do like this one, Cassiopeia. I think that is pretty cool. But it's nothing great. And then all of these gold cards are bad. So, Shrouded Fable, you know what? I think I'm actually going to make a change. I think Paladin Fates, I don't know why I'm doing this now, but I think Paladin Fates is going to move up to mid-tier. And that Shrouded Fable is going to move down to the worst set. Right down there. Alright, Stellar Crown up next. So, Scarlet, Stellar, I misspelled Stellar, Stellar Crown card list. Okay, let's take a look. Again, I'm not 100% sure what they were going for on this set. Let's just scroll down to the illustration rares. We have 2 or 3 more of these deluxe cards. And this is a small set, not many IRs. But I think the ones that are there are actually pretty good. I love this Bulbasaur. It's like lounging in the window with sun. And I think that's a good card. Lydian is a miss. Lileep is another miss. But this Raboot is great. Like kicking a snowball. Scorbunny is my favorite starter, as you saw in my starter ranking video, and I think Raboot is basically identical and another great card. This Squirtle is intricate. It's in a hot tub mini pool thingy with birds. And that's a nice card. My whole computer is glitching right now. I don't know, not know what is happening. But Crowd Inhabitable, another miss. Joltik, a bit of a miss. But this Milcery is nice. A bit too pink. But I like all the things that it's making. I actually think it incorporates the candy well. And this Meditite is another nice card. It's just chilling on a vine, meditating. I wish I could do that in real life. Gulpin. This has always been the card that I describe my friend Ewan with. Ewan loves cake, and this is just whenever he does when he sees it, he just puts the whole slice in his mouth. And this is a hilarious card. I love that card just because of that. Archelodon, a bit of a miss. And these full arts, I think this is the first set to actually use the gems well. Because I like all three of these gems cards, especially this Lapras, which I think looks actually really good. But full art supporters are great as well. I think every single one of these except for the Kofu is nice. Only 6 SIRs here. But we do have a very nice dash bun in the mix, cooking up some great food. I would eat this like gummy pie right here. I think that looks good. And then Lacey and Briar both kind of misses, but Bravery Charm looks cool. Area 0 under depths. And that's it for Stellar Crown. I think I would actually put this in best. I loved the artworks from that set. Moving on to Surging Sparks. I hate this set. I always have. It's not because of the cards. I just always have terrible pull rates with it. I can never pull anything from Surging Sparks. But that is going to factor in, obviously. But it's not going to be too factored in. But this incorporated the gems, and it really took them off with a lot of these. Okay, the IRs are not infested by the gems, which is good. This Execute is pretty good, I guess. But all of these are misses. Just that is a cool Latios, I will say. I actually love this Clobopus. Looks great. I actually love that card for some reason. Alolan Dugtrio with hair, another beautiful card. Appleton. Alright. Where is the Appleton in this picture? You tell me. And if you guessed this apple right here, you'd be wrong. It's actually this guy. But I like this Slagoth, even though it's kind of basic. But the full arts, there's a lot of them, and I think this set also does a nice job with the gems to make the gems rainbow, especially this Palossand and Pikachu. But two great cards. The full art supporters are a bit of a miss, except for this Surfer. It looks nice and jacked. What did I just do? Okay, the special illustration rares down here. I didn't click on Apple. Alright, Durant, can't believe that's a special illustration rare. The big hitter Pikachu. I can't believe that people like that so much. But Alolan Executor and the Latias are both very nice cards. There's actually a ton of detail in this city down here below the Latias, which is part of the reason why I like that card. We have a bunch of trainer SIRs. Jasmine's Gaze is not bad. Drayton, he's like shopping. Lisa's Appeal, not bad. But all of these gold cards, pretty bad in my opinion, except for Gravity Mountain. So I actually think Surging Sparks, I think I would put it in best. I think it would be at the end of best. Okay, Prismatic Evolutions. I'm just going to say it now. This set is way too overrated. That is just a true fact. I don't even care. This set is so overrated. By far the most overrated set of Scarlet and Violet. I bet a lot of people would put this at the very top, and I do not understand why. I do not like prismatic evolutions. This is like Evolving Skies number 2, where the cards are way overpriced and the pull rates are terrible. It's nicknamed Traumatic Evolutions, similarly to how Evolving Skies is Evolving Cries. And the artworks are kind of nice, but we completely skip the illustration rares, which I don't like. In return, we got a bunch of SIRs, which make the sets so overpriced. Look at how many SIRs there are. And the thing about the set that it does is that it gives every EV evolution something on its own SIR. We have Umbreon, we have Eevee, we have Sylveon, Espeon, Vaporeon, Flareon, Leafeon, Glaceon. I mean, come on. These are all way too overpriced, in my opinion, because they're all basically the same. These gold cards are also terrible. So Prismatic Evolutions, it's a nice set. I would say it would be, I just think it's too overrated, in my opinion. Moving on to the set that I'm trying to complete myself, Journey Together. Now, Journey Together is a small set, which, that's what I like about it. It's not too expensive. And I think the artwork is actually pretty good. And the pull rates are alright. They're nothing special. But part of the reason why, the main reason why I started collecting is because I loved the size. I don't think the artwork is terrible. And I just think it's a great set. Okay, it is very small. We only have a couple of illustration rares here. But all of them are great in my opinion. Well, not all of them, but I like this Maractus. I like Articuno. Wailord, probably one of my favorite cards in the entire set because the coral reef and the sunset is just so beautiful. This Wailord looks so happy. And then Iono's Kilowattrel. I love that card. Lily's Ribombee is a miss, and so is Swinub. But Lincoln Rock, this is beautiful. You cannot tell me that that is not a great card. I don't even care. Ends Reshiram, bit of a miss. But this Furret is just so cute. I can't get enough of it. Noibat, another nice card in this beautiful water cave. A Hops Wooloo. This is another card that brings back the nostalgia of Pokemon. Lying on a cliff, lying on a grassy hill in the sunlight with your Pokemon. We even got a little village down there in the mountains. That is, come on, that's beautiful. I will say the full arts are not the best, but at least there's no diamond sparkles. Full art supporter is not the best as well, but I do like this Ruffian and Brock Scouting. Special illustration rares, they are a bit underwhelming, I would say. There's only 5 of them. But Lilith Clefairy, I like that. Volcanon, not the best, but Hopzation and Salamence are both nice. The gold cards, I think Zoroark gold card is nice. Okay, so all that being said, Journey Together, I'm not going to put it in best, but I am going to put it at the top of mid-tier. Destined Rivals. This is a doozy of a set. Alright. Scarlet and Violet. Destined Rivals. Okay. Card list. This set was like the follow-up to Team Rocket. I don't think it was as good as Team Rocket. And definitely wasn't as good as people were hoping that it would be. But these IRs are very nice. I love this Shaman. Don't like the Cresto. Don't like the Spider. Don't like the Hadrapple. But I like the Rapidash. Rapidash. Ethan Cyphlosion. That is such a nice card. Team's Rocket Houndoom. Great. Psyduck. Almost perfect. Misty's Lapras. I have this card. I have a Clamperl, Electric, Rotom, another nice one. Orbeetle, Weezing, Murkrow. I love that Murkrow. None of these are great except for the Meowth and Greedent. Full art's a bit too many in my opinion. None of them are great. Same goes for the full art trainers. But the SIRs are nice, especially this Ho-Oh, Nidoking, and Crobat. I love every single one of those. Trainers, special illustrations. That just looks like a full art to me. The Team's Rocket Ariana, complete full art. I like the Jamming Tower and the Luenkia. And actually the Garchomp for the gold cards. But I think this is my ranking. And I honestly think that Destined Rivals was a best year. Now we have the sets that are grouped together. Actually, two different sets. They're basically the same set. So, we'll go Scarlet and Violet, White and Black. This was kind of like a yin-yang set. So, it's not terrible, but it's also not anything special. Oh no, does our website? Okay, here's our website. Alright, Black Bolt, White Flare. I think this one is just Black Bolt. But, oh wait, no, this is definitely both. Holy illustration rares. Oh my goodness, that is a beautiful Snivy, but it's better than the Servine. Simazage is nice, Lilligant's nice. Darmanitan, Larvitar, all nice. Palpitro's bad. There's just way too many cards in this set. I mean, it is two sets mixed in one. But, nothing else really to talk about. Wait, that was only Black Bolt? How was that only Black Bolt? So this is White Flare. I guess it just has a ton of illustration rares. Every single one of these is mid. Maybe that Vanillix is nice and stuff. I like every single one of these evolution line. No, that is bad. Very underwhelming. Black Bolt and White Flare, I would probably put in mid tier at the very end. Alright, this was actually an unexpectedly long video. And if you stuck with me the entire way, thank you so much. And this was Legendary Lightning Wolf. We'll be coming out with our 12 subscriber specials very soon. And opening more packs. And I hope you guys are enjoying the content on this channel. I'm just one kid trying to go and make it big in the YouTube world. Be sure to like and subscribe if you liked the video. And thank you. Bye.